Good morning, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Maybe I should be wearing green for today's video. I'm sorry, I guess I didn't prepare very well. In any case, yesterday I proposed that we consider Christ's claims. He claimed to be divine, and is there any proof that we can rely on his claim? Well, before we look at Christ's claims, we need to have a source. We need something to draw from. And we have, this is our source. This is the Holy Bible. But I think there is this prejudice against the Bible. On the one hand, you have historical sources. You have books of history. We have historical records, and you understand these things to at least have the semblance of truth, something that can be counted on as being historical. And then you have this book, the Bible, which is considered in a different light, as if it's not historical. It's made up. I'm thinking of the book, The Da Vinci Code, which makes the claim that the Bible dates from the time of Constantine in the 300s, written centuries after Christ walked the earth. How could we possibly consider it to have a historical basis? I think this is the common prejudice against the Bible. And in today's video, I wanted at least to start, 5 minutes isn't much time, but I wanted to make a start at establishing that the Bible has a solid basis as a historical document. So on the one hand, there is this prejudice that the Bible was written centuries after the time of Christ. On the other hand, this is just a prejudice, and no scholars of the period in which the Gospels were written disagrees that the Gospels actually date to the time of Christ. This Da Vinci Code prejudice is historically false. The Gospels date to the time of Christ. All scholars agree on this. Another prejudice, I think, that we have against the Gospels is that, which do I want to focus on today? Well, there are different versions, right? Which Bible do I use? I have right here the Confraternity version. Many Protestant churches use their own versions of the Bible. And when there are so many different versions of the Bible, the question arises, well, how could this possibly be true if you have this version and that version and another version? But the fact of the matter is that these are not so much versions as they are translations. And it's not like the Protestants have one Bible and we Catholics have another. But in fact, the most commonly used Bible is called the Revised Standard Version. And when you look in the index, you'll note that there are both Catholic and Protestant scholars on the board of translators that translated it as a joint ecumenical process. So there aren't that many different versions of the Bible that somehow contradict each other. But in fact, you have different translations that may use different terms because you're working, with the case of the Gospels at least, with Greek texts, and you can translate different words in different ways. So Protestants may prefer to translate the term presbyteros, for example, as elder, because they don't have priests, whereas we Catholics like to translate the term in Greek presbyteros as presbyter, which is actually etymologically correct because presbyter is synonymous with priest. So you may have certain words used which have certain connotations by Catholics and Protestants differently, but the Protestant Bible does not contradict the Catholic Bible, at least not with respect to the Gospels. The Protestant Bible cuts out certain portions that are in the Catholic Bible. But the fact is that the four Gospels are there in both Catholic and Protestant Bibles. So what have we established today? We've established, first of all, that Scripture scholars generally agree that the Gospels date back to the time of Christ. That's very important for a historical record. We have also established that Protestants and Catholics work from the same Gospels. They both agree that the Gospels are the Gospels. So those are two prejudices. I've sought to dispel them. We'll have another video tomorrow. That's all the time I have for today. God bless.